He certainly did. He's supporting big Edwin Hewitt. Thomas du Toit, amazing. He stood at school last year, played SA Schools.
SWD ready?
Coming out of Paul Boys High. The game to be started by Carlo Espeling. Kleinhans. Not a very sympathetic pass. And I tell you, Hanko Fenter will not be thanking him for that. Sweel steps into scrum half. Esterhuizen into fly half. And the ball will be brought back by Espeling for Southwestern Districts. Urgency about what the men in green are doing at the moment. De Roy Ruet, the man that brought it forward. Good tackle, Hewitt. Could be stolen by the Sharks.
No, green.
It is. Sweel into the fly half position. Finding good field territory, drops it in space. And he'd be very happy with that kick.
Yeah, it's a good return from Tim Sweel. Eagles, maybe a little change of mindset. You saw them running from the back, realizing that a quick, fast, broken field game suits them. And Thomas du Toit, great work from him. Strong body position, nice and low, ripping that ball from the ground.
That really is superb work by Thomas du Toit. The feed from Franklin. Trying to get a little bit of momentum. Oh, SWD. Donnie Fossen going to use that blind side.
Forward pass. Black ball.
Gee, that's disappointing for SWD.
What change of strategy here? Yeah, his hands went forward. Definitely from Donnie Fossen.
It was the right option from Donnie Fossen. There was space up the blind. We see that Grant LaRue has come on for Skalk Olofsson.
Nice binding, guys. Crouch. Bind. Six.
It's a good scrum from SWD.
Stay bound.
Bringing Maseko into the game. First receiver from the scrum. Kleinhans on the blind side flank. Hadebe, the little offload to Thomas du Toit, who's really stood up in this game for the Sharks 15.
Offside, 25
Hewitt.
green.
The offside
25 green, offside.
has been blown by Quinton Immelman, and Ashley Bass, the man, is penalised.
Post. 25 green, offside.
And you can see for the attitude from the Sharks, they've got to win this game.
No, definitely. They've controlled a lot.
Asked about that.
And that double taker, that looked all right actually initially. Ashley Bass penalised for being offside. He was part of that Pumas team in the Currie Cup that did well. Remember them beating the Bulls at one stage actually at home, and really looked good at one stage.
Taking any points that are offering at this stage are the Sharks. They've got to secure the win. Sweel. Oh,
22.
you wouldn't have expected him to miss that kick. Tim Sweel. His first one of the day. He's got one penalty already and 2 conversions. Espeling goes very, very long from the 22 dropout. Fantonda. He's got a good right boot, has Yaku Fantonda, and he finds the sanctuary of that right-hand touchline.
Blake, watch it through. Watch it straight through, sir.
Franklin to Grant LaRue. Again, the drive employed by SWD. Franklin getting a little exposed and breaking away from his teammates. Base. Good tackle from Boertes.
Use it.
The up and under from the base. Not well handled by Sizo Maseko. He had lots of time, probably too much time to think before that ball came down.
Stop, Black.
And it's a good touch finder there by Andre Esterhuizen.
Yeah, and you can hear the players out there shouting, work rate, work rate.
Time's off,
It
guys.
is pretty warm out there. The intensity hasn't been great, bros. A lot of mistakes. This man's been good, though.
7 and 8.
For the Sharks, 15, really strong runner, meters gained, passes. And if you look at the hard work he's done, probably broken tackles is the most impressive one. Very hard to bring down.
Time's still off, guys.
In terms of 4 runs, 4 times he's managed to break guys or break that tackle. Strong runner. But it's just like continuity and pace and intensity this game, considering the quality of player we've got on both teams.
You almost sense the concentration keeps going from the Sharks. As soon as they want to flex their muscle, they're able to do so. Well taken up front. By Southwestern Districts. Again, the drive gets employed. Ball taken forward by Sean Robenheimer, but stolen by Francois Kleinhans. Van Tonda. He will find DeRoy Ruert. That's a brilliant take by Ruert. Very good kick, Gale. And good work by Ashley Base.
He almost got there.
He got there, he got there, he got there. He got his chin on it, Hanyani. Oh, the big guy had a bit of lateral movement. Secured the ball.
Oh, it's just the breakaway, the turnover. Like Warren Bros said, he almost got there. Great work from Durrett. The opportunities here to actually run the ball back are massive for the teams here. And look at that. Ashley Base commitment on the ground.
Now, line out lost there by the Sharks. Farson kicked that forward. Donnie Farson, the little scrum half.
Oh, this is great contesting here from Zito right at the back of the line out. No movement from the Sharks or jumping into space.
Step, step. All the way back.
Bros, I tell you what, Eagles aren't looking bad in the beginning, early stages of this second half. They get a try here. Makes things very interesting.
And the Sharks are looking scratchy. They're putting pressure on themselves like that. They're turning the ball over at line-out time. They need some strong leadership. They've got experienced heads in Jacques Boertes. The turnover here for SWD. The kick comes through. And it was a good tackle by Tondera Shavanga on Daniel Roberts. And it could quite easily have been a try.
Yeah, you almost thought Roberts was over there. Great reaction work from Tondera Shavanga. But Eagles are knocking. They're coming here and really starting to look good, building strongly in the early stages.
But you said it, the Sharks are making mistakes. They're making errors. And it's keeping Southwestern Districts in their own half, or in the Sharks' half, and applying pressure.
You guys can bounce along.
Thomas du Toit on the loose head, Monday Hadebe, Vian Herbst, the Sharks front row.
Crouch!
Big Ashley Base up against
Bind!
Thomas du Toit on this near side.
Set! Stay down.
Esterhuizen.
Oh, stop.
And Fontonda relieves a little bit of pressure
Yeah, no, that's why I left it.
and advances that ball about 5-6 meters
Let's get it. Let's go.
forward of the
5 black.
Sharks 22. And Piet Marais, he's got Super Rugby experience. He comes on the number 18 jersey. That's him there to replace Marco Wenzel.
9, 8, 75, 4.
It's a good take at the middle of the line out by SWD. They set the target. Little fasten, a live wire around the fringes.
Step black.
Pick and go from Captain Grant Kent. Franklin. Good counter-rucking
No ruck form there.
by the Sharks. It looked like it was Francois Kleinans and
Put the ball
Piet
down,
Marais.
please. One off his feet.
Sadie, let's keep it up.
Number 9.
Yeah, Gronkamp not happy with this decision. It's a pick and go through the middle. That's fine, yeah, ruck. Oh, play. It's just a fair counter ruck. And he actually went off his feet to steal that ball.
Hewitt's in the front again, safe as houses. But the stemming of the drive, the counter drive is very good by Southwestern District. Zito will bring it forward. Asperling takes it to the line. Penalty again. You spoke about that penalty count. It is climbing
2 black
against
off
the
his
Sharks.
feet.
9 penalties conceded thus far by the Sharks against the 3 from Southwestern District. So discipline certainly an issue.
Captain.
And if you
One.
look at that from the Eagles, also open play
Put the guards,
turnovers.
everybody to calm down.
That's 5 and that.
Okay. Got about 14 refs at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That was negative again.
Skadeva not supporting his own body weight here. Look at that. Falling completely over.
Carla Asperling to bring the score to within 7. Head down, much better kick from Carla Asperling, his best of the afternoon. Reward for the pressure that the Southwestern District team have been placing on the Sharks 15.
Now what's impressive is they're starting to get a lot more territory and they're getting results from that. Bevan Fortin looks a lot more relaxed now. And they just need to play the game on the right side of the field.
Step.
Fasten controlling things from the base, but that may have drifted into touch. It doesn't. It's well taken by Jacques Wirtus, and it was a very fine, well judged kick by Donnie Fasten.
Thomas.
Again, a shortened 5-man line out for Southwestern Districts. The only difference now, they've got the scrum half, Donnie Fasten, in the scrum half position.
31, 4. Stick.
Line out's been a problem, no problem now. Zito, Fasten, Duplessis, out wide, lovely running.
Well done. Nice, Cesar. Good tackle.
DeRoy Ruert, the pick and go from Henswell Pedro, taken back in the tackle. base. Driven sideways by Esterhuizen. Robenheimer, Franklin. And frankly a bit wild and woolly there from Southwestern Districts.
Just messy play all around. No one really taking the line on. But probably a kick needed here. It's the danger of the Eagles here. Really good broken field runners. Nice stepping from Pedro. He gets caught by Esterhuizen eventually.
And there's a little bit of attention to some of the players. Martin du Toit is down for Southwestern Districts.
Let's go, guys. Open up, Green.
Young Robert Dupree, son of Springbok Robert Dupree, been playing his rugby down in Marties and Varsity Cup, sitting here watching his former teammates. Hadebe, Hewitt, Shannon Rick on in the number 20 jersey. Lyndon Hotnick will bring that forward. Numbers here for SWD. Can they make it count? And that's a good tackle by Shivanga.
Foot on the line.
Great idea here from the Eagles. Knock on, turn of a ball, you have a go. And you're going to get to the ball where spaces. And it's just drawn pass, or even just kick it forward here from Wayne Smart. What you don't want to do is run into touch and give position back.
Piet Marais, well taken. Rick, Fantonda flat, Shivanga fast.
Left on edge.
The turnover now for Southwestern Districts. A clear scoring opportunity wasted by the Sharks.
Barnage over.
Piet Marais clutches it out of the air, the big man. Tim Sweel, the fly half, will bring it forward. He steps.
Now roll.
The counter ruck comes from Southwestern Districts, slowing it down for the Sharks. And forcing the knock-on.
Yeah, Brazza. The Eagles are starting to hassle the Sharks now. Sharks not taking the opportunities. This is a brilliant vacuum player from the Sharks. The inside runner here, Tondre Shivanga, well-timed pass. And now it's drawn pass, 2-1. Really poor finishing from the Sharks here, doing everything right. Good ball, that pass too low for Esterhuizen.
Gee, I tell you, you're not stopping Andre Esterhuizen if he gets the ball in that position. Sandile Kubeka, the SA Schools player from 2012, has departed. He's been replaced by Neil Maritz.
Yeah, well, let's get the bind.
Big Ashley Bass
Lux binding.
has had his game time for this afternoon. He's been replaced by Lyle Dello.
Bind. Set.
The pick from the base is good. Lyle Dello getting himself straight into the action.
Second guy's fine. Don't worry about him, I'm worried about him. He's all right, Scott. It's on his feet. One. Oh, I'm asking you, just go now. Yeah. One black.
Yeah, Taylor decides to go by himself. The question is, are the Sharks players supporting their own body weight, or are they using the ground to actually leverage up here, or as leverage?
Not now. Here we go, here we go.
Well, Tim Swill's right in the centre of the field, possibly around 48 metres or so in distance for this kick.
Yummy. Yummy.
Importantly, if he gets it, it'll stretch that lead to a 2-point score that the Eagles will require to reach the Sharks. Much better strike from Tim Swill, no problem at all. That's a good three-pointer, a very important three-pointer for the Sharks. Albert Vandenberg on the left-hand side, Dion Kaiser, former Sharks and Springbok centre and wing, three-quarter. Kleinhans. Southwestern District's players calling for the obstruction. But the ball was held up by Southwestern Districts. They did very well. They've turned that ball over.
There's a
Hartnick that got there, but Braz, I must say, a lot of fight in this Eagles team. Maybe you don't have the glamorous names, but they certainly haven't given up. They've chased, they've worked hard. You know, they just keep knocking away. They're a tough team to put away. Really, you have to play well and start early, but they've stuck in there and they always keep fighting back.
Crouch!
Well, they've got good field position now.
Fight!
The question is, can they use it? Good
Ball's
scrum
out,
from the
shoulders
Sharks.
off. Knock on 19 green.
Oh, this was a good scrum here, especially from the Sharks on the loose head side. Thomas Dutoy working extremely hard. Nice 8-man shove. Disrupting
Not now, not now.
the
After
Eagle
this.
scrum.
Let's go, let's go. Yeah. Crouch! Bind! Set! Steady! Wait for my call. Straight feed.
Shannon Rick to feed for the Sharks.
Stay back. Thank you.
Yaku Fantonda stepping into that first receiver position. Aimless kick really from Fantonda. It's a very good kick and regather by Ruud. Opportunity now for Southwestern Districts. Pedro. And that really is, it sums up the afternoon for Southwestern Districts. They get themselves into good position, they get themselves into good field position, and they make an error.
Ruud is a good player in the air. Well-placed kicks, and you know, he's got that ability to get some good air time. So he's disruptive when it comes to that contest mid-air.
And I tell you, he's got that tigerish nature. There were Sharks all around him. He was the only man in green. And he fought for that ball. We see Johan Meyer. He's come on to replace veteran Jacques Boertes. Now, those are the errors you cannot afford. Captain Monde Hadebe, he knows it. Interesting call, Hanyani Shamangi.
Well, they've gone with the line out again. Yeah, because of the last scrum. And they managed to turn that ball over. So the simple option up front, they can set the mauling platform. Sharks have done well to defend it so far.
Ball's out on this side.
Gee, that's disappointing for the coaching staff. Anton Leonard would not be happy with the accuracy there at line-out time. You're in the red zone, 10-15 meters from the try line, and you concede that ball.
Just keep that behind the defense. Yeah. Try and get it as long as possible. Off the arm. And straight. Crouch! Bind!
Wait. Okay.
Set! Yes, there's a slip there, mate.
Grant Kemp kind of pulled his head out of that, Hanyani.
Yeah, he'll know when he's not set or he's going to get shoved. He was not in that comfortable scrumming position. So just waiting for it. You can see clearly Thomas Tutoy is right underneath him. Yeah, and that's how it breaks out.
The thing is, they've got to be parallel to the touchline as well. They've got to have their bodies straight, their shoulders square, stand ear to ear.
Yeah, it's also got to be stable.
Bind!
That's what's happening. A lot of movement before
Set!
or post engagement, before the ball's in. Just got to wait for it to be stable. Ball comes in. We should have a happy scrum.
Esterhuizen again sets the target. Rick relieves the pressure.
The Sharks are still under pressure. The problem with the Eagles is their scrum now falling apart, their line-outs, not setting a nice platform. When they do get a good platform, they've got the ability to attack. You know, Ruit at the back has really showed some good penetration. It's also good to see some of the guys playing Community Cup, some of the club players actually getting an opportunity at varsity at Vodacom Cup level. So it's always nice to integrate the club players. They'll learn a lot from being in this environment, get back, take it back to the clubs, and hopefully transfer that knowledge.
Well, it's fantastic. There's still scope for the player coming through the club scene, making a name for himself, and getting spotted by the talent scouts out there. Taken quickly by Franklin. Farson. Looks wide for big Grant LaRue. Daniel Roberts
Further knock on him on edge.
turns it over. Really good work here by Johan Meyer.
The hands!
Esterhuizen.
Vonage over.
Strong by Esterhuizen.
Pulls up.
Van Tonda. On that left foot. And Dwayne Smart had a look at the advancing Sharks players. The ball gets turned over. Scrappy from Rick at the base.
Play them on edge.
Sweel. A lot of structure going out of this game at the moment.
Oh, bro, it's just horrible rugby from both teams. I mean, easy catches that schoolboys would make. Kicks going to nobody. It's just terrible all around at the moment. Really, this game going through a dark patch.
Back ball, guys.
Wayne Kahn has come on to replace Hannes Franklin, as well as Anva Fenter coming on for the man that you just saw who knocked that ball on, Dwayne Smart.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
A bit of go forward there from the Sharks, but the tight head was hooked on the side of Southwestern Districts. Lovely run by Martin du Toit. The offload was good. And the kick, not a bad one from Anva Fenter.
This was a great shot from the Sharks, but unfortunately being hooked straight away. It's the power of the back eight, bros. Look at that coming through the Southwestern District scrum, disintegrating. Now it just becomes rescue time because they're playing backwards.
Taken up front again by, this time, Thomas du Toit. Again the turnover, again it's scrappy from the Sharks. But they've got the ball and they can bring it forward. Francois Kleinhans. Forwards come in, one or two guys just to blow it over. Field position is what the Sharks are after. Again the knock-on, or the mistake by De Roy Ruit.
Let's get the sub on. Let's go, Black.
Kwesi
One Black.
Mona is going to come on for the youngster Thomas du Toit, and I think Thomas du Toit can hold his head high. He scrummed well, he got his body around the field, he contested one or two balls on the ground.
No, you're right, Pros. And, you know, for a guy that was in school last year, this time preparing for his last season at Paul Boys, now playing professional rugby, he's done nicely. Certainly one, I feel, will probably get a bit of Super Rugby action later on
So over the 15, it's fine.
in the season.
Just a rub.
It comes out to the Sharks. It was scrappy initially. Esterhuizen did the right thing, read the situation well. I've been very impressed with this guy, Andre Esterhuizen. He's got that uncanny resemblance to a Francois Steyn in that 12 jersey. Ball taken quickly by SWD.
Yeah, look, Esterhuizen's definitely got the power game. You just got to look at the little subtleties. He's got a big boot. Then you got to look at the passing, the ability to offload, to make clean line breaks, to set up his outside backs. And those are areas he'll probably need to work on. It's all good being big and strong. But you also got to apply a bit of, you know, the intricate subtleties of good inside centers.
Edwin Hewitt in a good ball carrier. Sharks need to show a little bit of control now, a little bit of patience.
Knock on.
Again, Rick just trying to force the pass. It gets knocked down by Christo Duplessis.
Green 9. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
And a lot of close contact play, a lot of play around the rucks. And you go back in this game, you think of the time the Sharks played off the vacuum. Looking again, yeah, he's not looking at the outside, looking for another backline player to the fly-off, looking for another forward just to try grind away. The times that the Sharks have done it, you know, we had a break from Tonderai Shabanga, they could have finished off. So there is opportunity there. Now it's just from 9 to a forward, ruck. No offloading, no attacking space, and looking for the holes.
You constantly want the defenders to have to make decisions on what player to tackle in a channel.
Set. Steady. Stay bound.
Rick van Tonde at fly half. Lovely ball to Esterhuizen. He's looking for that offload. Pounced on by Kaya Majola.
Set.
Slow ball for the Sharks.
Green offside, 18 and 19.
Penalty advantage. Vian Herbst.
Step.
Rick. Not many options there for the Sharks. Rick to van Tonde.
18 and 19, green offside.
Again, no structure on attack for the Sharks, and they seem to lose their shape once the penalty advantage had been called by referee Quinton Immelman.
Well, the positive thing was that there was a nice little break there from Esterhuizen. They
Let's go,
decided
guys,
to use
Cappy.
the backs on a strike move a little bit wider. That offload had gone, they would have made meters down the left-hand side.
There's a mark.
That's where the space and momentum is. Now the execution needs to be right. Slow ball here. Looks like the Eagles players really, the ruck technique, they're not cleaning over the ball or the Sharks. That's why that ball's coming out nice and slow. And Kadeba comes straight back into the forwards from here on. Well, no one really taking control of the situation.
That's just the little things. The passing's not in front of the player. It's a little bit behind there. Errors that are creeping into the game. Tim Swirl, just a couple of minutes ago, struck a very good penalty kick. This is far shorter, far closer. He did miss one from the similar position early on. He's hit the upright this time again. Daniel Roberts will bring it forward. He hasn't found touch. Van Tonda.
Got it.
Turnover for Southwestern Districts. Brilliant work by Southwestern Districts.
A lot of overlap on the right-hand side here. They've got to let it go.
Again, the ball comes loose in the tackle. No knock-on ruled by Quinton Immelman.
6. Off your feet, just going down. There's a mark, stay up. There's a mark. There's a mark. 6 is crawling hands and feet all over.
Opportunity now for Southwestern Districts.
Well, the Southwestern Districts players all over that. That's a great turnover. Players holding up their weight. But it all comes down to the tackle technique, cutting the momentum first. Then the arriving guys can steal the ball.
Franco Marais comes on for Captain Monde Hedebe. Just under 5.5 minutes left. Can the Southwestern Districts Eagles be accurate at line of time, get down, score a try? Again, a knock-on. Pounced upon by Piet Marais.
Play advantage, 6 black. Sorry, 6 green offside.
Good work by Majola.
6 green offside.
And
Captain,
Sean Roberman.
get the message clear to the guys now. Stay on side, please. There we go. No, he's offside, so I'm blowing it offside.
And a general warning being issued
There we go.
to Southwestern
There we go,
Districts.
15, sorry. Offside, green. Thank you.
Van Tonda hoofs that downfield. So the Sharks, I would imagine, would really want to finish here with a bit of a flourish. Last 20 minutes have been lots of errors that have permeated through their game. Their next game's against Boland down in series. And they'd want to be more accurate. Piet Marais. Hewitt behind the advantage line. Flat-footed.
Set green.
And it seems that that is all they really had to offer on attack was the kick through from Shannon Rick.
Yeah, it's all very rudderless.
14
It's a
black.
speculator there.
14 black, substitution. Just make it quick, please. Give it to you now.
Elkina Isaacs will come on
Thank you.
to replace Sizo Maseko.
Sun's on.
Khan to feed. Wayne Khan taking it forward.
Now roll 3. Lying on the ground and playing it. And roll.
Taken quickly. It's a good run from Zito. Unfortunately, he is not accurate
Play advantage.
with the ball in contact. Turnover for the Sharks. Neil Moritz bringing it forward.
Step.
Rick. Again, the little knock on.
Play advantage here, guys. So knock on you in the midfield. There was a forward pass there.
Bros, you played a lot of games here throughout your career. Is it difficult holding on to the ball in Durban?
Why? Because we're seeing it
Jeez.
on the screen, aren't we? And there's a lot of knock-ons. Yeah, you've got to get the sympathetic pass. You've got to get your hands up. He had his hands up. Unfortunately, Kwezimana also had his eyes on the opposition. You need to keep it on the ball. The ball does get slippery here when it is wet, when it is humid, hot, and it can become like a piece of soap. But these players are very accustomed to it, especially the men in black shirts.
Yeah, I thought they practice in this weather, but the handling has been poor. Just the quality. I mean, earlier on, it's ironic. We spoke about the players in the Sharks team. How many guys have played Super Rugby, Curry Cup? It doesn't look like it.
Let's go.
Certainly from a handling point of view.
Got a flank there, sure. You got a flank there, sure.
Yeah, well, it looks like Mzwanele Zito
No, sure there's a flank.
is going to have to come off the big guy
No substitutions there?
from Solomon Mshlangu High.
All done.
He's played for NMMU and the EP Kings.
Okay, let's go, guys.
Yeah, he's a good player. Zito played
14 players, you haven't got a substitution.
Vodacom Cup also for Western Province.
Let's go,
Really
guys.
good
Red.
operator at the line out. Moved around at the clubs also. Was at Hamilton's for a while. Was very good for NMMU.
Now, the problem for the Southwestern Districts that it doesn't look like they've got a replacement that can come on to replace Zito, and they're a man down at the moment.
Closer. Here. Crouch. Fine.
So 8 plays 7
Set.
as far as the scrum is concerned. The Sharks with their full complement of 8. Zito off due to an injury. Esterhazen in the space. He's got to look inside or out. Too easy for the Sharks, you feel. And Neil Moritz gets in for the try. He had options inside. He had options outside.
Johannes, have a look at that last pass for me, please, eh?
Did Andre
Not
Esterhazen.
100% sure on that one.
But we are just going
Nah,
to
just
go
that
up
one
and
there, that
check
last one, eh?
to see
Fine,
that
we're
this
happy with the
pass
other one.
from
This is last pass,
Esterhazen was not forward. It's all about the direction that ball leaves the hands in the first meter. And it's all about in relation
Yeah,
to the
happy with
try
that,
line
eh?
as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely no problem for the pass by Andre Esterhazen.
Well, it's also good work, I must say, from Quinton Ilmerman, who's let this game flow, but finally managed to execute properly. This is a good line here from Esterhazen. Way too quick. Southwestern District defender caught in the middle of nowhere. Finally, the Sharks get it right, Bros.
Oh, it's a classic example. Sorry, Hanyani, but Esterhazen runs straight at the gap between the two players, splits the line, and delivers the pass.
And Espelling was the one that missed that tackle, but wonderful work or execution from the Sharks 15.
That just adds a little bit of respectability to that scoreline for the Sharks, but it's been a scrappy second half from both teams. Maria will go up, take it cleanly. A little bit of urgency shown here in the dying seconds of this game by the Sharks. Fantonda, Esterhazen being their standout player. Fantonda brings it forward.
Play on. On your knee and playing it on the ground.
Let's go, let's go.
There we go. No
Sharks
time,
wanting to play quickly.
Let's play it, let's play it.
The full-time hooter sounds. Andre Esterhazen passes it straight into touch. And that's it, the game won in the fourth round here of the Vodacom Cup. Sharks have got Boland next down in series. They win this one 27 points to 10. A game won handsomely by the Sharks, but it was a scrappy encounter by both teams. Lots of knock-ons that permeated throughout the game, but they'd be happy with the result. A game played in great spirits. Disappointing for Southwestern Districts. who will depart from Durban without any points in the bag. But the